Before we jump into the video, just want to let you know that my code ESPRESSO is 30% off over at gfuel.com for nearly the entire month. If you're looking for a good stocking stuffer, check out any of the tubs, starter packs, shakers, and all, and save big time on the longest lasting 30% discount I've had. Check it out if you're interested, link in the description below. Modern Warfare had a smaller playlist update as of yesterday that brought along with it a few bug changes as well as everyone's beloved shoot house 24/7. But that said, there's still plenty of things that could be worked on, plenty of things still out there that still persist as bugs, features, and issues, and other things alike, and overall items that just need adjusted. Today, we're going to break down the known and addressed problems with the game that we can expect to see coming as a change with what hopefully is the next update for all of these listed, though likely some will be addressed but still have the possibility to persist even with the initial pass to tuning said items. But that said, we're going to talk about all that here in this video. Let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section down below if there's anything in particular that you guys are hoping to see adjusted, added, removed, or anything in between in the comments below. And of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you guys have not done so already to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare on a daily basis. So that said, we got 13 things to talk about here with this, and then we can talk about the timing of when we can expect to see said changes, but let's just jump right into it. First things first, let's start out with one that is a blueprint bug. This actually was one that affected multiple blueprints in game, but a couple of these were actually fixed as of yesterday's tuning pass, though I don't think that one was explicitly stated either. We've talked about recently how Infinity Ward seems to be putting some changes in that aren't publicly stated, which is curious. I guess that's the best way I can put it. I don't know why some of this stuff is being withheld, but it is something that was adjusted as of yesterday, but there still seems to be one revolving around the Heat Cycle variant for the MP5. This is an issue where if you have the Heat Cycle variants or blueprints of the MP5, you may notice it for yourself where it showcases you can have it in your class during the creative class loadouts and in the gunsmith, but whenever you go in and play actually a game, it won't be there. It'll be the standard base default MP5. So naturally that isn't translating one-to-one, and that was something that was happening with a couple of other blueprints, but this one still hung back even though there was a fix to some of these earlier as of yesterday as well. This has also been flagged by Ashton, the community manager from Infinity Ward, as having a fix coming in the next update. It just didn't make its way over into this last one as of yesterday. The second adjustment that I would expect to see here, and this is one that I would definitely expect to be at least somewhat tackled with the next update, that being micro stutters. A lot of players have reported that they've gotten a ton of micro stuttering after updates 1.10 and update 1.11. Now, this is of course something that does affect the gameplay. It affects the fluidity, how you actually experience the game, and it can just be overall frustrating beyond belief. So with this being something that is persisting now on quite a frequent basis, it is something that I'm sure is at the forefront of things being adjusted for the next update. It's not something like a typo or something in a menu where you can get away with it and it's not something that's necessarily at the top of the priority list, but actually game-breaking and game-altering experiences, that kind of stuff is. Number 3 on this list deals with officer challenges and their displays freezing. Now, this is something that has been reported across the community. I haven't personally known anybody that's been affected by it, but it seems to be a widespread issue where if you take a look at your officer progression through Season 0 or the preseason leading up to Season 1, those challenges you did since launch up until when Season 1 came in, those can appear to be not completed even if you did complete some or all of them. And I think this has been persisting since Season 1 actually started. I think that I've seen some discussion even as far back to Tuesday when the update actually rolled out. But that's something that should be fixed out within the next update as well. But it also is something that rolls into the fourth thing on the list here, that being seasonal emblems, the rewards that you were supposed to be getting from Season 0. Because these are showcasing as frozen or incomplete in some cases where players could have all their challenges done, but it only showcases 7 or 8 of those emblems, not the full 10, you don't actually get credit in your emblems for what you ended up getting. It doesn't reward you with the full 10, even though you did all 10, if that's the case theoretically. So whether or not you did 3 and got rewarded with 1 emblem, whether or not you did 7 and got rewarded with 4 or 5, that's really up to what this bug may be affecting with you, but it seems to be an issue that is also affecting the seasonal emblem rewards. So that should be fixed out there. Fifth up on this list is that of the bugs with the mission challenges. Now, a couple of these were fixed out as of yesterday's update in terms of making them a little bit more stable, tracking properly, and some of them just generally aren't defined very well. For the operator ones, it doesn't seem like it tracks for a lot of them, but what you actually have to do to get it to track is to use the operator that you're trying to unlock that uniform for. That's not really ever defined or laid out in the descriptions, so that's something that players have been reporting that they're broken, but those in and of themselves are not. Some of them, again, that were not actually tracking got fixed out, but one of the big things that persists now is actually still a UI issue, where if you go to inspect more details of that final reward, it boots you back to the main menu, or rather the main multiplayer menu, where you see your character walking aimlessly and forever, and you can select what game mode you want to play. It boots you completely out of that, which shouldn't happen. It should showcase more of those details for the weapon, but that's something I would imagine is fixed out as well. And kind of compounding on that, just overall, number 6, just further challenge fixes. There are still some things that, again, are broken, that aren't tracking properly, that just aren't defined well enough, so I'd expect that to be coming as well. 7th thing on the list comes down to your field upgrades. This is a weird bug that I've seen reported every so often that I personally, again, haven't experienced just yet, but it seems to be a larger issue, is that of your field upgrades just simply not being able to be used. You can activate them by using the left and right bumpers, but it won't actually place, use, or activate any field upgrade that you end up having equipped on your class. So whether you want to throw an ammo box, it won't let you. If you want to put a trophy system down, it won't let you. Naturally, that is a bug that is game breaking and doesn't allow the player to use the full potential of their loadout, so I would expect a fix coming for this in the next update as well. After that, there's a bug that is a really weird visual, but also it still makes the audio, so you definitely will still hear it, and it becomes a big problem if you're in a tactical mode that you need to listen for things, or if you're just in an area, it can get super annoying, that being the fact that kill streaks are getting stuck in midair on various maps now after most recent updates. So it quite literally is like the rockets getting stuck on buildings in midair, and it's exactly what you'd think. It's kind of a crazy bug, but it is also one that persists, so that should be getting a fix coming up as well. On Crash in particular, there's a lot of talk about Crash right now. I know that it's not everybody's favorite cup of tea, but the one thing that should be getting fixed out here and has been addressed by some developers is that of an issue with the door, mainly in the second story storefront. And I'm glad that I'm not crazy. I'm glad that this is something that is actually an issue, because I noticed this at our capture event in Los Angeles before Season 1 ever kicked off, and I thought that I was just losing my mind. But it actually is something that if the door is swung to the inside of the room, you actually can't walk between that and the railing to go over to the window. For whatever reason, even though there's spacing there, it just will not let your character pass. So that should be getting fixed out as well. Outside of that, on Crash as well, we also see that the chain-linked fence up on 3rd story, you actually can't shoot through that if you're climbing the ladder. You can shoot through it if you are on the roof on the inside of that fencing, but if you're trying to stealthily take out somebody and climb up that and using the pistol to shoot while you're still climbing, you can't, and that is something that obviously is game breaking, that you can shoot out of it but not into it. That should be getting a fix as well. One issue that's been addressed is that of users not receiving their Cod Points. Players have reported that their Cod Points after update 1.10 or shortly there before had their Cod Points that they had previously existing on their accounts wiped out. They just didn't have them anymore, and that was something that I didn't realize was still an issue. I thought that got resolved, but it was mentioned over on Reddit and some other talks that this still persists, but should be having a fix coming shortly as well. So that's something that genuinely really needs to have a fix, because that's people's money in the game that is just being taken away or temporarily disabled, I guess. I don't know, but that should be having a fix coming as well. And we also can expect to see some further kill feed adjustments, as mentioned by Joe Seacott, and then some visual bug fixes for weapons dropping, them displaying as an AK-47 despite the fact that they could be another weapon entirely. Those are the 13 changes here that I would expect, though, and that have been reported and, of course, commented on in some capacity by developers, by the community. And so now the only other question comes down to when, because we had an update for the DLC drop this past Tuesday. The day following, we had the update 1.11 to fix out some stability issues. And then as of yesterday, we had a slight hotfix to fix out some certain issues in-game. But what about these ones that we just talked about? I would expect at the earliest probably Tuesday, though I'd be pleasantly surprised if it came either today, tomorrow, or even Monday to end up fixing out some of these that do again affect all players in some capacity in some cases. At the earliest though, if it's going to be a titled update, Tuesday wouldn't surprise me, but that's something that we'll have to just wait and see. but hopefully sooner the better again, especially with things like the micro stutters, with people missing their COD points and other things alike, but that's where we're at currently. So I want to give you guys the information, keep you guys in the loop on these things that you can expect to be fixed out here in the relative near future. Of course, it's probably not the big things that a lot of people are hoping to be commented on or to be hopefully fixed out, like skill-based matchmaking, like the tanks and things like that, but still things that do affect your gameplay no less. But that's where we're gonna wrap it up. So love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. Is there anything in particular that you guys are hoping gets fixed, added, removed, changed, adjusted in any capacity, whatever it is? Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like down below. Of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare. Daily content here for updates, news, information, tips, tricks, all that good stuff. We got you covered here on the channel. So if any of that interests you, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected outside of YouTube, practically on both those. So if you guys want to strike up conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. But let's get out of the way. Thank you guys all so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.